It's the 15th of January today. Yes, I know it's very, very early in the season and I'm actually in the greenhouse, which is quite a surprise. It looks like a beautiful day, and it is a beautiful day, although it is very, very cold. Got up this morning and it was just above freezing, so that was a bit nippy. Now, what I want to show you today is just something that you can grow whatever the weather outside and whatever the time of year. Now, a lovely friend of mine, Brenda, she's very sweet, she gave me, because she got it for Christmas and she wasn't going to use it, so she thought that because it's all to do with gardening, I'd most probably like it, and she's quite right. It's a grow your own herb little pack, and you grow it on the windowsill at home, and there are 3 different herbs that you grow in there. There's mint, basil and parsley, and it gives you, there's a little tray like this, and then there's 3 pots all with the names of the herbs on that you can put on the tray, and they also give you in there's 3 bags of compost, and then there's the seeds that you need as well. So you've got everything to start off your own little windowsill herb growing kit. So I just thought I would show you how to do that. Now I'm just going to show you how to sow one of them, because you would sow the others exactly the same. The parsley that they've given you is the Italian giant, which is like a flat leaf parsley, and the leaves are really, really big. It's fabulous stuff. There's also the sweet Genovese basil, which I've grown before, which is absolutely lovely, and the mint is just a normal green mint. Now, one thing to remember when you're growing mint is it does spread, and if you grow it outside and you don't give it enough space, it will take over the next bed and the next area. I do have some growing outside in the herb patch, but the herb patch is quite large, so it has a little bit of space to grow, so it's okay. But if you're a little bit confined with space, I would suggest you grow it in a pot. Now, these pots that they've given you here, they don't have any holes on the bottom, so you have to make sure that you're very, very careful not to overwater it. Most herbs don't like the cold, I mean, there are obviously some herbs that don't mind the cold at all, because they'll stay out, like rosemary and sage, because they'll stay out and they'll stay green all year. But other ones just don't like the cold, so growing them on a sort of a sunny windowsill is absolutely perfect, and it means that if you need some for dinner and it's pouring with rain outside, you don't get wet. So let me show you how to just sow the mint to start with, because the basil and the parsley will be exactly the same. So get your pot and you get the compost, and you just put most of the compost in. I would suggest putting about 3/4 of the compost in the pot to start with. Gently push it down. Don't push it down too far, too hard, otherwise it will become compact, and then the little seedling roots won't be able to work their way through. Check the compost. If you find that you've got any big bits like this, get rid of them, because it's too hard. If you can't break it up, then just get rid of it. Okay, put it in the compost heap. So just fill it about 3/4 full. Just give it a gentle tap down with your fingers, just so that it's level. And then all we need to do is just to give it a little bit of a water. Now, don't give it too much water, because remember, there are no holes in the bottom. The water will sit on the top of the soil for a little while, and then it will sink down, and this is sunk down. So once the water is sunk down, then you can sow your seeds. So very, very carefully, actually I'm going to use the scissors for this, very carefully just open the packet of seeds And then, oh, I don't want that bit in there. And sprinkle the seeds onto your hand, because if you sprinkle them straight onto here you might get clumps of them, and because they're quite dark it will be very difficult to see. So hold them onto your hand and make sure you've got them all out. Mint seeds are very, very tiny. Can you see them? Very, very small. There are all sorts of different varieties of mint. There's spearmint, there's peppermint, there's pineapple mint, there's just loads. You can actually find, in a good garden centre, you could find a load of them. So once you've sprinkled them on your hand, just take a pinch and just gently move your finger and your thumb backwards and forwards and move your hand over the compost. And this will help evenly distribute all of the seeds. The last few just shake off. Once all your seeds are in there, you see you can't see them because they're the same colour as the soil, just put a very small amount of compost over the top of them, and just don't push this down too much, just sort of spread it out. And make sure that the seeds are covered. You don't want this compost too thick because it won't be able to, the seeds won't be able to grow through it. And then give it another very small water. Just like that. And then that one's done. And you won't need to put a label in because it tells you what it is. But if you don't have the name of the herb on the pot, then please by all means put a little label in. So there's that one done, and I'm just going to now do the basil and the parsley. Now I'm just doing the parsley, and I just thought I would show you the parsley seeds. They're really quite large. All parsley seeds look practically the same. Parsley tends to it'll grow for, they call it a biennial because it lasts for 2 years. But there we go, that's those. So once we sprinkle those on top of the soil, they'll be much easier to see. There are quite a few parsley seeds, but parsley is a lovely herb and it's very underused, I think. So we will use all of them, but that's what the parsley seeds look like. Quite a few of them, but they'll grow very quickly and we'll have some lovely parsley to put in dinners. And here are the basil seeds. They're sort of in between the size of the parsley seeds and the mint seeds. They're little black seeds, they're sort of oval shape. And there's quite a few of these here as well. So I'll sprinkle all of these on as well. Now, out of all of these herbs, basil is actually, all I've found, is the fussiest one. It doesn't like to get cold at all, so this one should do lovely and well on the windowsill and should be very, very happy. So we'll just cover those like the other two up with a little bit more compost. That's it. Just gently move it around. You don't want to have the soil right to the top, because when you water it, the soil and the water will sort of roll off the outside. So you always must make sure that whenever you grow anything in a pot, that you actually have space between the top of the soil and the top of the pot. So I'll just give that one just a little water. Make sure that when you sow seeds, you use fresh water out of the tap. Don't use grey water because it won't be sterile and the seeds won't grow as well. In fact, sometimes they don't even grow at all if you use grey water, but once the plants are growing properly, then you can use grey water. So that's all of them done now. Okay, so that's all of them done, the mint, the parsley and the basil. So I will put these on the windowsill in the kitchen, which is a sunny windowsill, and hopefully they'll enjoy it there and they'll grow very happily. But I will keep you updated with their progress and show you how they get on. Well, if you are sort of unable to get outside and you do want to grow something at this time of year, herbs on the windowsill or lettuce on the windowsill is always something very good to try, and it just makes you realise that spring is just around the corner and very soon you'll be out into the garden and down on the allotment very soon, and it'll all be starting all over again. Well, I hope you found that useful and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye bye.